Okay, and we're live this time.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Miss Thing. How are you?
I'm good. I've missed you all.
We're missed, and we actually just started this live, and we were talking for a good 5 minutes, and then I realized I forgot to hit the live button.
Leave it to
Yeah.
John. Leave it to John.
So, I've had, I bit my tongue really bad, and I took
I heard.
a giant chunk out of it. So the last 2 days, I have not said a word. To anybody, because so Cody got like a little vacation from me, which was
God
nice for him.
bless.
And it's feeling better. It's not like 100%, but
Thank
hopefully
God.
I won't sound like I have like
You
I
got
don't
to
know.
chew your food next time. Don't just swallow. Chew.
And I kept reopening it and reopening it. There's like nothing you can do for it, but like let it heal. So
Hello, my
here we are.
people. Hi, plant lover. I know I missed you guys, Jay Freak. Hi,
Charging you
Rabbit. Fruit
attendance.
Band. Sorry. They were saying hi to
Have you
me.
been gone that long that you forgot like
Barbara.
the routine?
I'm sorry. They were saying hi. I can't be rude.
Oh, J Freak, hi, videos, Ruth Ann, Mary B, Betty Boo, Barbara M, let's see, Barbie, MTT, Mary B, Tony Ann, Plant Lover, Tanya, Keela Bila. No, you could fill in when like my gaps there. It's been a while.
I mean, you wanted to take over. Go for it, bud.
MW. Let's see. Linda S. Rabbit. I think I got everybody.
So guess what, guys? Guess what?
Go ahead.
John and I had a nice dinner last week together. Right, John?
We did. We had
our annual Christmas meetup. We're going to call it that.
We did. I was on Long Island last week, and we got to meet up for our annual dinner, which was great.
And I mean annual because it's only once a year he goes out of his way. But whatever. I leave it alone.
That's just because I'm on the island only once a year. It seems now. Like if I was
there, and he saw me by default. I want you to know, but that's all right. He squeezed me in his busy schedule.
I had to go to a funeral, so I thought it was very kind of me to
very kind
squeeze her in. I didn't even see friends I've known my whole life. I saw her. Okay.
Oh, what do they matter?
Yeah. Hey, Sheila. So we hung out. I was like, "You want to go live?" And she's like, "Eh." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm with you." And
but tell them I worked all day and I look like poop. I go, I can't let these people see me looking like dog crap. No.
Amazing. And Cody wasn't with me because he was sick. So
I was laying on the couch the whole day. I could barely move, and I was like,
I heard.
Me see a picture of her, and she looked amazing. Don't believe she always looks like.
Thank you, my friend.
I was so jealous that I was not there, but
we did have some really good diner food. I'll say that.
And I actually just ate my last pickle last night because
let me tell you, he took those pickles and wrapped them right up and took them right back to Jersey.
There is nothing like a diner pickle. Like I half sour is my favorite pickle.
True story.
Diner pickles with the coleslaw. I love coleslaw. I love pickles. I was like, give me all of it. And like we were closing, so Brooklyn here is like, I had ate half my burger because again the tongue, so I really couldn't chew. So she's like, throw in like 50 pickles in there, and the waitress did.
And the waitress did. They love me.
And I had a litany of pickles. And I just ate the last one.
They're good forever.
Oh, so delicious.
Oh, thank you, Barbara. You're so sweet.
Hey, Cousin Joe.
Hi, Cousin Joe.
Tonight.
Well, before you start, I want to tell everybody how freaking proud I am of you because you have had some amazing interviews in the last couple weeks. And I have to say, I listened to every one and I was so impressed by the information and the receipts, and you've been doing great, I have to tell you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Pineapple got the ball rolling. Oh my Pineapple, you're reading John's mind.
Oh, I need a bell or something. Or the recorder. I don't know.
Pineapple, you got the ball. I'm in the house. I'm in the house, people.
Yeah, and it takes a lot to get Brooklyn Girl in the house these days.
Tell me that again.
I pretty much had to beg, which I'm not above. which everybody
No,
knows.
not at all.
So I mean, that's not nothing to me. But what was I going to say? Oh, the interviews. Yeah. You know, when I did the Vanessa one, I was ready to wrap this up, and I'm like, you know, it's time to move on. That was my swan song, and it was full circle, and I'm like, okay, it's a way to end it. And then I actually talked to Vanessa last night because now me and Vanessa are beefers, and I love her. And I was like, I don't know if I should love you or hate you because
Let's go with the love. Let's go with the love.
your interview with me like kind of like jump started my channel again.
She laughed about it. She was like, I know.
Oof. MW. Really? I don't even realize. John, do I not say the letter R?
Well, I have the same accent you do. I just mask mine.
Yeah, I think you're right. I never say it.
No, because like, you know, Long Island is like, you know, when you say you drop the if like dinner for example.
Dinner.
Long Island accent, if there's an ER ending, you drop the ER and add an A. Like
Yeah, I just
dinner is
noticed
dinner.
that.
Well, she just
Shoulder
said-
is like, oh, you got something on your shoulder.
She just said we met up for dinner.
Yeah.
And she goes,
Yeah,
"Oh my God,
you're
I
right.
never
You're right.
noticed."
You're right. I see. I hear it, MW.
I only noticed when I moved to Florida for the first time and I was walking in an office. Here now, see, she brings it out of me. I'm working in an office, and my boss came to me because I was on the phone. He's like, "You need to calm down with your accent. It sounds like you're giving people directions to the Brooklyn Tunnel every time you're on the phone, the Brooklyn Bridge every time you're on the phone." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know it was that bad."
Really?
So, I used to sound horrible.
I can't even hear it, so I don't even know.
You're used to it. But I tried to tone mine down. But when I'm on with people like you and people from home,
It just
comes
comes
out.
out.
Hey Johnny, hey Shayna, Shauna.
Hi,
So,
John.
yeah, like coffee. You know, if it's there's
Yeah.
it's coffee.
Yeah.
It's not cafe. I can't even say coffee the right way.
Coffee.
Cafe.
Coffee.
Caseo.
So that's how that works. But I wanted to hop on tonight because and back to the interview. I hope that y'all watch Liz. Yeah, I had a couple of bites there, and we're still working on another couple. Because that was like me and my happiest when I was doing interviews and not involved in any other crap that goes on YouTube. So
I told John, I said, you don't have any power. We think we have power, but we don't. Because you know who rules us? God. And if God wants him to have a second chance, here it is.
just said it again.
Oh,
You
gee,
you got no power.
I'm not talking.
You got no power.
I'm not talking.
Yeah, so and it's funny, like the live I did the night before with Liz got like 7,000, and then when Liz is actually up, I think it's at 4,000 or something like that. I'm like, listen to what Liz has to say. It's
Crazy.
So let's get into what we're going to talk about tonight. I want, since the first part of the tell-all is tomorrow, I wanted to do kind of like a wrap-up of the season. Like, we were doing the recaps every week, and then I went MIA for a while because I didn't care anymore. So let's talk about that. But first, I want to talk about this Natalie post,
I can't.
I just posted, and I already feel my tongue getting annoyed because this is the most I've talked in like since the last live, and like during the Liz live, I don't know if you guys can tell, like I was in so much pain.
No, we really couldn't. Honestly, I couldn't tell at all.
I was trying to muscle through it, but at the end, and you can't put ice on your tongue because it's at the back of my tongue, like all the way back.
That's not gonna work.
No, so and I was like, but let's talk about while I can still talk. About this Natalie thing, and then we will get to the wrap up of before, and hopefully maybe Monday, if you're free, we can get the whole gang back together, and Addie and Wicked, and we can.
Oh yeah, I'm down. I miss Wicked.
I miss
Addie
Wicked too. I miss it's just been weird here. I haven't been doing anything, but now I'm trying to get like my momentum back. So
and before you bring up Natalie, I just want to say, For any of you who live in California, I haven't stopped thinking about all of you. I haven't stopped praying for the whole state, and I just want you all to know that our thoughts and prayers are with you.
And it's insane. Like
It's beyond. I can't even go there because I've cried so many times over it, and these poor people are losing everything. And you have all of our prayers in New York. I just want to let you know.
I have a cousin that lives out there, and I don't like to talk about it because then people start looking. But
I
like,
know. I
she
know.
was just evacuated, and
It's a horror show. It's a
if you remember,
horror.
like, if you've been watching me for a long time, you remember like seeing a picture with me with like my cousin's Emmy. So you know, I know we probably know everybody. Somebody knows somebody that's there, and we're all praying. So
So just
which
know
makes
you have our prayers, and we'll move on to entertaining you
yes, and that's
with
why
crazy psycho Natalie.
I try to like do this, you know, like, you know, people need an escape, and like I don't
Yeah,
want,
and that's it. And that's it.
you know, so that's why I try not to talk much about it. But
Absolutely.
this Natalie thing is insane. So let me
Oh
play
my
my
God.
little thing, and then we'll get to it. Shoot, I forgot that now that I'm paying for StreamYard again. You know, and that's the sad part. Like I'm like I canceled StreamYard. It was like $50 less a month I had to worry about, and now I had to bring it back again. I'm like, damn it. But
John,
you
let
know
me
what?
ask you a question. What are you going outside to fix a tire? What's in your hands? You remind me of
Oh,
my Nonna right now with the spatula.
it's my swing. It's my slide whistle, and I don't know why I'm holding it, but it's giving me some type of comfort for some
All
reason. I
right,
don't
so there you
know.
go. It's your security blanket. All right, let's
Yeah.
go.
All right, let's let me play my little thingy here. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pull this post up real quick, and then we'll get to before because this is sick. I'm sorry. Hold on, share screen.
It's comical, sick, and a little strange, but I think if, in my opinion, if people are stupid enough to pay it, they deserve what they get. Oh, Plant Lever, she is next level.
Okay, let me go full screen here. So, Natalie writes, seeing these fires and how they've impacted my community has been heartbreaking. Many of you have asked about video chat, so I've decided to auction off like okay, first off, in grand Vicky Gumbelson form, I'm saying to myself, who do you think you are, Madonna? But you know, this is Natalie, who okay.
Well, hold on a second. You got people from these shows that sell their farts. So they really think who they are at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's
you
going to
know,
auction off her voice. The other one's selling farts. I mean, they really think who they are.
yeah, but Brooklyn, in you know, and don't make me defend the fart lady because that was disgusting. But she made
A ton.
$200,000. She made $200,000 in 3 weeks selling farts.
Yeah.
She farted herself. Stephanie farted herself so much that she ended up in the hospital for over farting.
She ate.
I mean, and
You know what it was? She ate too many beans. Literally.
Like unbelievable. And this is the this is the show we've been dealing with. Hey, Amber. So
Hi, Amber.
So she's auctioning off 10 spots, starting at a minimum bid of 150. DM me a minimum bid on my exclusive site with your offer. So she's talking about OnlyFans here.
Yep.
Okay. And it's not your exclusive site. You're somebody that has an OnlyFans like channel, just like I have a YouTube channel. And I also have an OnlyFans channel. Like, you know, I haven't used it in 5 years. But like it's like me saying, oh, come to my site, which is YouTube. No, I have a channel on YouTube. I don't own YouTube. So The highest bids will be contacted to schedule a call. Rules for the FaceTime will be sent via message. I can't wait to chat with you and help make a difference during this difficult time. Okay,
can't.
I don't like.
I
Okay.
can't. But and again, this is absurd. It's ridiculous. However, if someone is dumb enough to send this woman $150, then it's their problem. It's their fault because you got to be like a little insane.
My thing, like, at first when I first read this, I didn't know it was OnlyFans. So I saw it and I was like, okay, she's giving 50% of her money towards charity. Well, it should be 100%.
Absolutely, especially at
this
that
woman-
price.
This and who the fuck? I'm not even trying to curse, but who do you think you are charging
Right?
$150?
Madonna.
Who
That's
are
who she
you?
thinks she is. Madonna.
150 to get a crack at Natalie? What? And it's not even guaranteed. It's not even guaranteed. She's auctioning spots like she's Oprah. Are you kidding me?
She thinks very highly of herself. That's all I'm going to say. I'm trying to be very polite.
Well, you can. I won't be. So, and like, it just makes so much sense because she's with Josh, who's with like that 90-day Backstreet Boys dance troupe. Like,
I would
have
go
you
on a
seen
limb.
that?
I would go on a limb and say at her level of celebrity, if you want to call it that, I would say maybe saying $12 or $10.99. Am I wrong?
No.
But to say 150, I mean, this girl's really out of her ever loving mind.
And at the end of the day, which I'll get to, Jesus, I don't know how to like. I was all over the comments.
But
And
in her defense, she could turn around and say, "Well, I made it so high because it's for charity." But you're also not Beyonce, so
but that's
these
not it.
people.
She's using a platform like
Absolutely.
OnlyFans that takes half your money. So
Right.
at the end of the day, OnlyFans is the one who's getting the most out of this, and she's lining OnlyFans pockets while promoting her channel to make her look like a good fucking person that's going out of her way to help people in California.
Now,
No.
I would have had respect for her if she did this on what's the other one where you talk to people?
WhatsApp?
No, the one where you get paid to send messages when you're a celebrity.
Cameo?
Yes. If she said, I'm going to charge $20 a cameo and I'm going to get half the money, or $30 a cameo and I'll give half the money to, California, I would have even said, okay, it's not worth it, but okay. But this, no, this is
But
insane.
even no, and David Tobo actually commented, which I'll get to in a second. But when Corona was happening at the peak, we're from New York, we got hit the hardest. Like, me and Cody were doing like deliveries 17 hours a day, throughout the whole, like when we were ground zero, when there was like, tumbleweed on like the streets here.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then it reminded me of when Jesse was selling face masks to people in New York who couldn't get them.
I remember.
You guys remember that? When Jesse had
Yes.
to do this to like, and he wanted to be a good guy.
That
And
got
I
me
had-
so angry.
Bought a boxes of face masks, and he was charging people in New York where we were. Me and Cody didn't even have them. If you've been following me for a long time, I had my scarf around my face like that.
Because we couldn't get them here in New York. They were
No,
hard to
no.
get.
No, not at
They
all.
were like hitting the lotto if you got a box of masks.
Like I had to wear my scarf. Like, and oh Jesus Christ. It was so aggravating to see Jesse do that and like turn a profit on this. And so now she's trying to do this on OnlyFans.
Let me ask everybody in the chat though. I have to ask you. When somebody mentioned this happens to me all the time. When somebody mentions COVID and I actually start to like think back about that time. Do you guys have PTSD? I get PTSD. I
I
feel
do.
like when somebody, not when they just say, oh, this one has COVID, not like that, but when somebody starts talking about that time period and you start thinking in your head about like, what it was like and being petrified and having gloves and having a mask, right? Don't you guys feel like you get that feeling back? Like, number one, how did we live through it? Right? And so many didn't, right? And number two, you just, I don't know how to say it. It's just a feeling, and that's the best I could describe it, like a PTSD, like a trauma feeling, right?
I think us New Yorkers feel like we have more
Yeah, listen,
PTSD
it
about
was
it.
bad in New York, but it was bad
No.
everywhere,
Wait,
John.
wait, wait, no. It was bad everywhere. But like, when it came to the United States, we got hit the hardest, and us New Yorkers already have PTSD from 9/11.
We had
So
9/11, we had
there's
Hurricane
also that.
Sandy. Yeah, I agree.
You know,
I agree.
and I'm not saying that only us New Yorkers were hit. Obviously, it was a global pandemic, and
Oh no,
but
I get it. Yeah.
it is what it is. So
But it was like taking advantage of a situation, and that's like how I feel what she just did.
And she is, because at the end of the day, whether so I'm gonna show you a thread of comments on this between me and St. girlfriend, which you know, um, I'll show you right now. And at the end of the day, if she's, why promote a charity that's gonna tax you?
Right.
Why?
Right.
If OnlyFans is taking 30% of it or 50% or whatever, why would you line OnlyFans pocket with money from charity?
And if you're really devastated about the state you're living in, why are you even lining your pocket? Just do a fundraiser.
Or send people to real legit charities that have a better knowledge of trying to help people. Like, I fully believe in Bethany Frankel from New York housewife, and not because she's a housewife or whatever, but if you follow Bethany and you see Be Strong, like, it's boots on the ground. They're there, like, they're giving out cash cards already, like, I really feel like Bethany's charity, like, because you hear horror stories about FEMA or the Red Cross, or the money is not getting to the victims fast enough, or it's because a big charity like Red Cross is
That's a good comparison, John. I 100% agree with you. I think Bethany is amazing what she does. It has nothing to do with being a housewife, but
right.
she gets to these people before the government does. In
Yes,
Puerto
yes.
Rico, she was there a week before any aid from America was there.
And like, that's why I say the only charity I've been sharing on my IG is Bethany's, because
Agreed.
I really think she's doing God's work, and she'll do, I was listening to her earlier today. She hasn't slept in days. She's trying to figure out whatever she can do. And really, like, I can be like, oh, I can do this on Cameo or OnlyFans or YouTube and send me the money and I'll send it there. No, I don't need to be what's that word? The middleman. I was trying to get a fancier name for that. Intermediary. That's it. Intermediary. Like, I'd rather direct you
Right.
to to Bethany's company, or and if I have to, the Red Cross or whatever.
Right.
I just don't have faith in like the Red Cross and FEMA, because we've been in places where FEMA didn't help nothing. Look at what happened with the hurricane that just happened in North Carolina, and how those people were out, and it was Bethany who was there first, I'm pretty sure, or one of the people there were first.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I would much rather see people giving that, and like, I don't need to go live and I'll get a video call from me, like, not that I'm anybody important, but and I'll send it that way. No, give it to Bethany, give it to Red Cross or wherever you need to. I don't trust them either. I don't trust FEMA. I don't, because again, we've lived through places where we were in need of help, and help. Where's FEMA? I don't remember where they were when we were for Wilma. I was in for Hurricane Wilma in Florida. I mean, Cody's lived through Hurricane Andrew. He's lived through a lot more hurricanes than I have.
We never had FEMA.
How about Hurricane Sandy? How long you were around for Sandy, Brooklyn?
You know, I have to say, I live on Long Island, and Hurricane Sandy was an absolute nightmare. It was a disaster. My husband's a first responder. I didn't see him for 3 weeks, and it was scary. We lived off generators, and I have to say, there was some celebrities that came to our towns, like Heidi Klum, came to our local firehouses and gave out diapers, and like there was amazing people. But the big ones, you didn't see right away. And Bethany Frankel is who I actually donate my money to. When Puerto
Okay,
Rico happens,
what misinformation am I spreading? Because if I'm truly spreading misinformation, I'll correct it.
well, I'm not trying to spread any information. I'm just saying how amazing
I
Bethany
won't.
Frankel is.
But with Sandy, where we live, our whole town was underwater. The house that we're in right now, the water was up to here. You saw the roller coaster in the goddamn ocean.
Yeah, I don't like
And
to spread any information. I just like to say how I feel. And I feel like Bethany Frankel is amazing. And anybody who can donate to her for California, I think should. And that's just my opinion. I don't know about other things. I'm not versed enough to speak on other things. I just like her, and I like donating my money to her. That's all I know.
And I'm just talking about like my experiences with being in
Yeah, that's all we can
disaster
talk
areas.
about, guys, is what we've gone through. That's it. Nothing else.
I lived through Hurricane Sandy, being a northerner, and I lived through Hurricane Wilma in South Florida. And those were I mean, and Sandy was way worse than Wilma. But I don't know. I think what Natalie's doing here is
Right, and
just
that's really
wrong.
what we're getting to the crust of is Natalie. That's how we got on this topic, and I just think she's crazy.
And like how she's titling it, like I'm gonna auction off spots. Like who? Like just point someone in the right direction. So
that's what I said. I said, okay, Beyonce, all right.
Because I'm sure most people in this country, or people who watch me, have gone through their share of a natural disaster, and it's horrible.
Absolutely.
People who live here, we have to deal with hurricanes. That's our big thing on this side of the country, which spawn tornadoes and floods. You have tornadoes in the Midwest. You have earthquakes and fires on the West Coast.
Yep.
Volcanoes and other countries.
Volcanoes. Monsoons. So
tsunamis, like
blizzards. Whatever. So let me go back to this. All right. So Okay. Now I like San Francisco. That's St. John's girlfriend. And now I scroll down. Why? Oh Lord. How do you let this scroll? Can I hit that button? There we go. Just for context sake, she's selling video calls through OnlyFans. Why do you got to do it through OnlyFans? Which clients on there have asked her to sell for a while, and she hasn't until now. And that makes it better. So clients, use the word clients, have been asking Natalie to do video calls on OnlyFans. And now, since there's fires and devastation, two birds, one fucking stone. How does that work?
Right.
Which clients have asked her to sell for a while. And OnlyFans takes 20%. And as a 1099 contractor through the site, you need to save 30% for taxes. The 50% donated is the remaining profit. Are you kidding me? Then don't do it through OnlyFans. Problem fucking solved. Who's talking politically here? Y'all, like, no one's talking politically here at all. Did you hear me mention Trump or anything like that? I'm talking about what
I think maybe in the chat they were talking political, but we're not talking political. We're talking about fundraising. No one's talking about anything political. I'll tell you that right now because I don't talk politics. And everybody who listens to me, I don't talk any politics.
Hold on. You know, so with this being said, why would you ever use a platform for OnlyFans, like OnlyFans that takes 20%? Like, you know, YouTube takes 30% of my super chats and takes 30% of my memberships. And if you buy through Apple, Apple takes another 20%.
Right.
I know better not to use a platform that takes half your fucking money.
Exactly.
But I'm also not trying to do this either. Okay? And that is just ridiculous
Oh, thank you, Elizabeth.
to think that way. So the intention with doing it through OnlyFans is the existing fan base has been asking to purchase video calls. So the existing fan base that she's already had wanted her to do video calls. So now Natalie uses this tragedy as an opportunity.
Oh, hold on. Calypso can't, don't worry about it. People misread stuff all the time. We're just here to have fun. Don't even worry about it. And Elizabeth, I don't know what that means, left out in the snow, but thank you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get political here at all. I'm just trying to get through this, and because I really do want to have fun with
Yes, I love coming here talking about these whack jobs on 90 Day.
There were just so many different other ways to go around this. So, and I love that San Francisco wants to, you know, defend Natalie here, but this is not something worth defending. And like, you know, okay, so the intention with doing it through OnlyFans is that her existing fan base has been asking to purchase video calls. So it seemed the most effective way to raise the most amount of money. Is it the most effective way to raise the most amount of money when you're giving money to OnlyFans and then Natalie has to worry about her taxes after, and she has to keep a amount on the side. So at the end of the day, she's still pushing money to the side for her taxes.
I'll be very curious to see how much she raises. I hope she tells us.
She's auctioning spots because she's that fucking popular.
So crazy.
Okay.
Well, listen, she is semi dating a new Backstreet Boy, so there's that, right?
Oh God! What that fool who wants to lip sync and dance to songs that from 20 years ago?
He loves being on this show. I know that for sure. He loves it.
They
He
all
was
love
with
being
her
on
to
the
get
show.
on that show.
All these people hate each other. They all did. None of these people on the
No
Last
plant
Resort
lover.
These people on the Last
I'm
Resort have
sorry,
not been
plant lover. I'm
together
being
in years.
sarcastic. You know, Josh. Yep.
Josh, the guy who now they're
Wild.
bookable, and I kid you not. Let me just put my face here. Hand to God. Now these people are bookable for weddings and bar mitzvahs. You guys, if you're getting married,
Stop it right now.
wait, you're cutting out. Are you there?
I said stop it right now. Yes, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. They're hand to God. Bookable.
So Kim's son,
Jamal.
right? Kim's son.
Benny.
And Jamal, Josh, and the other guy
Benny.
are now bookable for weddings.
The 90-day bad
I've heard it all. I could die now. I've heard it all. I'm officially done, everybody. I'm dead.
Josh sees dollar signs. Look at him now. Like, do you want me to pull up the 90-day part? No, I can't because they play music and I'll get struck.
Oh my Lanta. Oh my Lanta.
Let me see if I can pull one up. I have one of them posted.
I'm officially dead.
They're fake Backstreet Boys that are doing.
They're doing old
weddings.
Backstreet Boys songs and old NSYNC songs, and they're trying to dance to it. They're not singing. They're lip syncing, and now they're the 90-day bad boys.
Oh, we're getting to it, Elizabeth. Believe me, we're getting to this show. Don't you?
I put
Elizabeth, you know what happens sometimes when I get on here? It's my fault. I
No,
go
it's
on
not your
8
fault at
different
all.
tangents.
Now me and Brooklyn need to go to the diner and laugh and talk about this now.
Absolutely. I always get John off topic and I talk about a million things that's going on in the world, and we're here to talk about 90 Day.
No. We're not off topic at all. We're
All
talking
right,
about.
I don't want to take you too far. Sorry.
No.
Okay,
This is fine.
okay. Just want to make sure.
It's a 90-day show.
This is the 90-day people that are taking advantage of all kinds
But
of
yes, you can now book.
Oh,
the,
thank you, Elizabeth.
90-day Bad Boys for a wedding, a christening. Like I don't know. And listen,
I
ladies, you need
can't
entertainment for
with this.
wedding.
I can't.
I bet they're cheap. If you need some type of entertainment at a wedding, I don't know, but we'll get there. Hold on.
$50 for a signature. Half will go to the relief fund.
This is all 90. Yeah, Natalie's 90 day. This is all 90-day related. I promise.
This is too crazy.
This is
My
insane.
God.
Okay. And I don't mean to be bringing up like San Francisco because I like her. I'm not saying I have any issues with her, but I don't think this is the cross you want to die on. So, and like I haven't been fired up on Instagram or at all or nothing. Like I have been pretty like, very what's the word I want to say? Like not nonchalant, like ambivalent.
Passive on Instagram.
I haven't done a post on IG where I called somebody out in a while, but this one was warranted. So, the most effective way is not to get to a platform that's going to tax you. So now she's putting money in OnlyFans pockets. Wrong. She can throw up her Cash App or Venmo and have a convo and send it straight to the relief. This is nonsense. And she can. Like, if Natalie really wanted to help, right?
Or GoFundMe.
If Natalie really wanted to help, she can go on IG that gives you free
Absolutely.
video calls, or Facebook that gives you free
Absolutely.
video calls. Get their Venmo, and then Natalie would have to keep a ledger of what money she got from each person, and then she would show the world where the money went to, without having OnlyFans take a cut and whoever else taking a cut. She's only doing this to benefit herself and her brand, and using a tragedy. And this is a horrible tragedy.
It is. And Elizabeth, we're back. We're going to go on once a week. You keep watching, girlfriend. I'm going to look for you. Yes, this is a horrible tragedy. And you know what? I think there are people out there that will give her this money. And I hope she does what she's supposed to with it. There's just a better route she could have taken. Bottom line.
Yeah. Why would you go a route where you're going to get, that OnlyFans is going to take 20%, and then you have to keep another 30% for your taxes.
And OnlyFans is the
and we don't know, people write off taxes very differently. We don't know if she,
Right.
And is Natalie going to show everybody the amount of money she got? Because I have an OnlyFans account too. I still have it. I haven't used it in 5 years, but I still have one, so I know how that works too on OnlyFans. No.
Listen, I'll tell you, I'm a nobody. I work very hard for my money. But when these things happen, I do always donate. And I am very selective, like I said before, on where I donate. This whole thing has broken my heart. And yes, I did give to Bethany because I believe in her and I believe the money goes where it should. If there's people out there that want to put their money here, God bless. You work for your money, do whatever you want with it. But it's just ridiculous.
You're still, and she's still sending people to her OnlyFans, which is her, what does she say it is? It's her site, because now she's trying to look like a good person. Oh no, I'm doing this from the bottom of my heart, but come to my OnlyFans and do it that way. So you're getting traffic on your page. Like, I don't know how this fucking works. And you're getting subscribers, and then you can do all this on OnlyFans and then say, in the next breath, oh, hey, by the way, here's a picture of me with my toes showing. with all these new people.
Well, she's
that
saying
just
that she's
signed
going to be
up.
having conversations. So I feel like this could have been done on Cameo or something. You know what I mean? Or, but again, God bless, more power. Thank you,
Bro.
Julie.
Okay.
So I want to know if you're ready to talk about these people because I'm so impressed with that little Niles and I can't wait to talk about him.
Yeah, I think we said more than enough on. I mean, like me and this, we were going back and forth for quite a while, as you
Oh,
can see.
I see that. And there's a Rinna meme. That's serious stuff.
Oh well, you know what? I haven't popped this meme out for a while, but I'm
When you
like,
got to throw out that Rinna meme, that's serious talk.
because like it was that disgusted me. And I don't think there's an altruistic bone in her body. I think she's still, because Natalie is still like her. Is she even a citizen? Like, how is she
She's
still
listen. She's looking
here?
for her
Like,
moment. She's looking for her moment.
and I was gonna
But
talk about it. So hold on, let me. So yeah, I think it's deplorable. And the way she worded it, like I'm gonna auction off 10, like you're lucky to get a spot from me. Like what? No. Why would you be auctioning off spots if you want charity? You should give it to anybody who wants to talk to you. Why
for
are you
that price.
auctioning spots? Why? Yeah, even David Tobo said it's disgusting. But go to my Instagram post and you can see it there and you can read the comments and but like the way she worded, like, if you're lucky enough to get one, because I only have 10 limited spots, but I want to do the best because I'm worried and I want this money to go to charity. No. No, 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 no. No. That's
And that
not
would
how
be a
this
no.
works.
And that would be a no from Mr. Yates.
So you do that. And let's move on. Okay. Oh, that's 42 minutes with Natalie. I think that's the most I've spoken
So,
over my whole entire
can
life.
we please, please, please start with my little boyfriends I love so much?
Please take the lead.
So, how many of you are so impressed with that little Niles? Because, listen, I love that this show is doing one thing right at least by showing someone who has I don't want to say a disability because I don't feel like he has a disability. In a way, maybe yes, I guess, but he is just so cute and I love how he talks. And obviously we know he has autism. And I just love that he is funny and quirky. And I do think that she loves him so much. And I can't imagine how hot it was getting married in that room because I was watching it and sweating on my couch. But even the scenes coming up with the tell all of him, step into what's his name, Adnan, whatever the heck his name is. I just love him. I really do. Thank you, Addie. I don't want to say that because, I don't know what's right to say and what's not. But I just look at him as so smart and so adorable. And I think they make a great couple, and I'm rooting for them big time. I really am. Did I lose my partner? Where's John? Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. But do you not love him? How could you not love him?
I do. I would have to say of all the couples on this season that Niles and Matilda are probably my favorite because
They
I
are
had
my
the most.
favorite, right, Linda and Ruth Ann? Elizabeth, right? Like just love. And I feel bad, that his parents, didn't want to support him, but I get it. They don't know, We're watching the show. This was back a year ago. They don't know if she's in it for the right reasons. But I mean, now watching it, I hope they moved on. I hope they support him. But he really showed strength. He stood on his own. I almost died on the floor with the comment with taking it up the butt with what's his name, the old guy.
Oh, Mr. Aker.
I mean, his
Aker.
wife is like, yeah, yeah, we don't do that here. Okay, like as if it was a normal thing to say right before your wedding, not like good luck, have a long life, don't fight with her. Listen, here in Africa, we don't do it up the butt. Okay,
And if Mr. Ark, thank you, Mr. Ark. I like Mr. Ark. You know, if I was lucky enough to have, I mean, I wouldn't mind having a dad like Mr. Ark. And like this guy didn't know Niles from Adam, and you know, he
Gave him the
posed
money,
as his
helped him
father,
out.
like you know, represented him, told him not to put it in the butt. But you know, that was just
This couple to me is what 90 Day was about years ago and what it should be about. Falling in love, really loving each other, not having much, not trying to be a celebrity, just going there to get your woman. And I love it. I just love it.
I have no issues with Mr. I like that couple. I have the most faith in them. You know, and Niles, you know, was not completely honest with her, but wait, not funny, John, not this time, not this couple, save it. What, Elizabeth, what am I doing to you that I'm pissing you off in every comment you make?
What happened, Elizabeth? What did he say?
Elizabeth, what have I done to you that you're so mad at me? Like everything I say, you're like, fuck you.
No, he likes this couple. No, really, he loves this couple. We all do. You can't not love this couple. I was a little confused myself on how the Mr. Ark thing came about. Like, I don't know.
Actually, Brooklyn just set up the butt, not me.
No, because Mr. Ark said I don't know if you remember, Elizabeth, when they were right before the wedding, Mr. Ark said to him out of nowhere, just letting you're going to have sex tonight, but in Africa, we don't do this. We don't do the up the butt sex. And that came out of nowhere. I almost died. I almost fell on the floor.
Not mine.
No, it's all right, Elizabeth. Did you miss, Elizabeth? If you missed it, it was a 2-second thing, but it was so strange. It came out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. But it was funny in a way, and the way Niles took it was like, okay, sure, we won't be doing that, which I love about Niles. It was strange. It was a weird moment, but it was so funny. I fell on the floor literally laughing. But it was great, And you listen, you guys are right. I'm sure his parents had a million reasons to not support it. They're worried about their son. He is autistic. He's in another country. He's got no money, lost his job. But I hope now with time they support him. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, as we've seen on the show, like when he did call them, they were not supportive. And, you know, when Niles, you know, he told Matilda he was going to go there to marry her, and then he took it away. And then Mr. Ark was the man who was like, you know, I am going to, you know, support you, but you have to marry her. Traditional Ghana marriage.
Right.
You know, you can't do, was it the, what ceremony?
The knocking.
The knocking. You know, without the marriage. And I like Mr. Ark, and he helped him out. And, you know, if you remember watching the show, Matilda told Niles that Mr. Ark had already not liked Matilda. I don't know where their paths crossed before.
Yeah, something happened. Something
happened between the two of them. And yeah. So
I just wish them well, and I hope they get more seasons out of it. I really do.
I do too. Like I, you know, and I have to say, like, you know, I've been very doubtful of this show for years now. If you've been watching my recaps, and I pretty much gave up on it. But me and Cody, even after we stopped doing the recaps, because we got so annoyed, because, you know, every time I watched the recap, I had my notebook out, writing, you know, copious notes about everything, and it just wasn't fun anymore. Right. And me and Cody started watching them on our own again, like we used to, like a decade ago. And I'm like,
oh, thank you, Elizabeth. That's very big of you to say. Apologize. Not many people do. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? I'm like, this is the show. Thank you.
Very sweet.
But yeah. So Niles and Matilda, I'm happy for them. I really do. I really hope it works out for them. I hope she comes here, because at first I think we all thought she was trying to scam him in the beginning, and I like them. I like them the most. They're my favorite couple.
Now, my least favorite couple, only 50% of him, is Lauren. And I know in the beginning when they first came on, I was like, all right, he's a little quirky, but let's see where this goes. Blah, blah, blah. He is one strange human being. And I've watched some interviews with him now. And I tell you, man, where this guy came from, I just don't even know. And I felt so bad for, and I can't remember her name. What's her name again?
Oh, Faith.
Faith. I just felt so bad. Faith was just so sweet, and she really wanted this to work. And the way he acted and how he scared her, and I can't even imagine. I really can't.
I was just posted that since the show completed filming, that Lauren got married and already divorced to somebody else.
He'll marry anybody. Anybody. He'll just do whatever gets him a place to sleep in that night.
And Lauren, from the snippets from the tell-all that I've seen from the 90-day page and the show, Lauren, as soon as he got back, ran and had sex with the person. I say person because I don't know what.
I don't know. Yeah, neither do I. I don't know if it's man or woman.
Mark right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the person, I don't even know if it's a fucking person, to be honest with you. But Lauren, a cat, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lauren
With him.
went back and had sex with the person that gave him gonorrhea.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Many of y'all in the chat would run back to somebody that gave
Can you imagine?
Like, what?
So I have a question. I don't know if you're going to know the answer, but I was a little confused by this. Why did they have him on the tell-all when he broke the NDA, but they didn't have Chicken Lady because she broke the NDA?
I think I I think Rainey went into more description than Lauren. I mean, the production wants to pick and choose who they want to say NDA.
I see that.
I've had a ton of casts on my show while their show was airing, and they were breaking NDA every goddamn time. And at the end of the day, production was okay with it. It really is up to production who they want to pursue for breaking it. Like they use and they threaten you with it. But 9 times out of 10, they're not going to do dick about it, honestly. And that's my experience as someone who's interviewed a ton of 90-day people while their show was airing and after. Because, because when their contract ends, when the show ends, it doesn't mean their contract's over. And I've seen some of the contracts, and I can't say who because I don't get them in trouble. But the verbiage is very clear that in some points, you can't speak about this in perpetuity, which means for life.
Okay.
But it's really up to production to go after the people that they want to. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, it's fine. But I guess with whatever Rainey did, Chicken Lady, it was enough for them to piss them off because she was really kind of being unhinged on her IG.
I mean, listen, that night, Lauren was unhinged. And Barbara, I saw your comment that you've been through that twice. And I'm sorry to hear that because that is very scary, unhinged behavior. And I didn't blame Faith at all. And you could tell that he has that in him. And you could tell that that's how he acts, Thank you, Elizabeth. What's up with Brian in regards with the NDA? I don't know.
We'll get to Brian. Brian.
Okay, yeah, we'll answer that in a minute.
Yeah, but Lauren, and now there was just a picture of Lauren working at I don't want to dog anybody. Listen, I'm an Uber delivery driver. I do Instacart. I'm not trying.
Listen, whatever somebody does to make money and earn honest living, God bless them.
anybody for making money and good for. But
Oh,
Lauren,
thank you, Julie. Thank you for that.
well, yes, that's why I keep her around.
Thank
Um,
you.
but Lauren is now working at TJ Maxx.
Okay.
Good for him.
Yes. Honest job.
And but he, I mean, the second he got back, he divorced. Well, no, he married, and I'm not sure if he married the gonorrhea person. I'm thinking that he married the gonorrhea
I
person.
heard in an interview that is who he married. Correct.
And they've already been divorced. So since this show that we've all been watching has been aired, and like prior to, this tell-all is going to be on tomorrow night. Lauren has married and divorced, and like we're supposed to like be like, oh look, oh, is your love okay? Like,
I can't. Oh, thank you, Boomer Babe. You guys are freaking amazing. I love these people, I swear.
how about
Yeah,
your
no,
ego boost tonight, Brooklyn? Huh? Are you
I'm
loving it?
telling you, I'm coming back. That's it. I want once a week spot. I'll right on here in this hot seat.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Telling you.
Keep giving her
Between
the
the
ego
super
boost.
chats and the compliments, my head can't get through the room. Telling you.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, yeah. He said in the interview, married, divorced. Now we know he pays child support. He has a kid. I don't know how old the kid is, but I feel bad for this kid having to watch this stuff. I got to tell you. Oh, thank you,
there's
CH Loving
also
Life.
the fact that Lauren's still in much of the arrears with like his child support for his, I think, a daughter, I think, or whatever. So, and 90 Day Fiance doesn't pay much money. So,
Especially for that show.
and this was the longest season of 90 Day Fiance.
I thought so too.
No, it was. It was by far the longest season because usually, like, it's quartered off,
Right,
in quarters. You get before 90 days, you get happily ever after, you get regular 90 day,
right.
and then you get before, happily, regular, and then what's the other one? Oh, the other way. Those are like the four main ones that they used to quarter. But now, like, now they're pushing stuff off on Monday nights. So this has been a super, super long season, and with so many different couples. So let's go to Brian and Ingrid. Brian and Ingrid, the word on the curb is that they were already broken up prior to being on the show.
So now he says, we saw the sneak peek and we hear him say that he says that she had a boyfriend. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if I believe that. I personally got a good vibe from Ingrid. I think that he hit her with so much BS out the gate. Not only did she not know his age, not only did she not know how many times he was married,
He
not only
lied. He
right.
lied.
Not only on the first night together did he pull out the catheter and he's in the bathroom and he's making those noises and wanting her to fill the bag. And I mean, this girl definitely stayed around longer than I would have. And not because he's in a chair, because of the way he acts. Okay.
And my issue with that is that, like, the whole season, and like, listen, this is a slippery slope that we're about to go down.
It
And
is, and I don't want to insult anyone,
I
but I
mean no
agree with
one,
Elizabeth. I think he's a predator in many
one of my
ways.
best friends in my life who's been there for me forever is in a wheelchair, is disabled.
And you know what, John? With that being said, nothing about what I don't like about him is about his wheelchair. His wheelchair has zero to do with it. So,
Thank you for saying that, because nothing I don't like about Brian has anything to do about him being disabled. It's about him being a manipulative, gaslighting asshole.
nothing.
That's-
You take that.
that's my
I don't
problem.
care if he could run marathons and he wasn't one iota in a wheelchair. Take away that wheelchair, and a man like Brian would never be in my wheelhouse if I was a single woman. Okay. And I want that to be said loud and clear because I have zero problem with him in a wheelchair. If he showed up in that wheelchair and he had an amazing heart and he was loving and caring and kind and honest, I wouldn't even see the wheelchair. And I'm being honest.
But he's
But I have to
creepy.
say, with all that being said, the minute I heard mid-season that this was like his third go with the Brazilian girl, I knew
Third.
what
No,
box
this
I
was
put him in.
no. You're wrong. I think it's he was engaged to already 3 Brazilian women, and I think this was his 5th attempt at another Brazilian woman. And the way, he made it so he made her life miserable. And like again, like the
That's
word on
right.
the girl is that like they were already broken up and but they did the show. Much like, when you saw The Last Resort, Molly and Luis were already broken up
Exactly.
and they did it. But like, production, blame Sharp if you want to. But they put them on the show and then we're here to talk about it.
I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. That is horrible. And you know what? He's not a good man. He's not a good person. Absolutely. And I think that he preyed on her. And I think he preys on girls like her. I liked his sister way more than I liked him. And the way he was trying to push himself on her that night in the hotel. And again, the way he reacted when she declined him was way, way, way too dramatic for me. You're trying to have oral sex with someone, she doesn't want it, she pushes your head away. Guess what? That happens. You don't act like a child that got their candy taken away from them. That's ridiculous.
I'm trying to like rephrase what I want to say because I don't want to piss anybody off. And like what I'm saying is it has nothing to do with disability.
I
But
got to
this
tell you, I
man,
think everybody's in the same boat with how we feel. So you could say what you got to say because everybody feels like we do.
Brian, like, the first night, like, okay, so he never met her before. He goes to Brazil. They're in the hotel room and he's testing her, like, but he's
Too
using
much.
his disability as a weapon and a
Absolutely.
gaslighting way to like get her, like, and to make the
Absolutely.
feel bad for him in production. Well, I wanted her to like do the to draw to help me drive with the pedals because I wanted to test her to see if she was okay with being with somebody disabled.
BS.
If she wasn't okay with it, knowing that
You wouldn't have passed the first phone call. You wouldn't have made it past
exactly,
the first phone call because of all the things you lied about, that was the only thing you were truthful about from the beginning. And she knew from day one that you were in a wheelchair and she still gave you the time of day. First of all, she's young. Second of all, she's got a hot body. Third, she's beautiful and kind. So she doesn't need, there's a million men. If she wants to come to America, which I don't believe she does, if
no,
she wanted to hook up with an American, if she cared about your disability, you'd be the last person she kept that relationship going with. The last person.
like it was a trial and tribulation. Poor Ingrid. Like if of all the people I want to interview, Ingrid,
Oh my gosh,
I already have
yes.
a
Yes.
translator
Yes.
on retainer.
I have
I
a
want
question.
Ingrid.
I have a question. Elizabeth, first of all, congratulations. Being a clinical psychologist, amazing. But I have a question. As a clinical psychologist, I know you shouldn't do this and you can't say, but like, what would you diagnose him with? Because I diagnose him pathological liar first out the gate, right? And
So
I think he's
narcissist.
predator.
I would call him a narcissist and also a sociopath. I would.
Like, I really think he's got some major psychological issues.
And he's in his 50s. She's in her 20s. So already, like, there's that. And so the first night he's expecting to get lucky because he's like this ladies' man that no woman can like deny. And him all like, I've never had an issue getting the ladies, like, and to do that, to put her in this uncomfortable situation where it's
Wrong.
the first
So
time
wrong.
he's thinking he's gonna get fucked.
And not
He's
only did he put her, can I just say, not only did he put her in a very uncomfortable situation, but he did it with cameras there, which makes
yeah.
it twice more uncomfortable.
And then he's telling her, "Well, I took a half of Viagra for for you to make her
Can
feel
you
bad."
imagine?
if some, listen, if someone did that to me on the first date, handicapped or not, like I'd be like, why do you think you're getting lucky? I just met you, mister. Like that's gross.
The only person that treated Brian the way he deserved to be treated was her mother. Her mother gave zero, you know whats,
I know.
zero. And in the moment, I felt bad in that scene. Like, wow, man, you got to just at least talk to the guy. But after seeing the whole season, the mother knew what was up. She knew exactly what he was more than we did,
No,
and
no.
she gave him exactly what he deserved.
Didn't even see this season yet. Brooklyn. She was.
No, no, no.
she
I'm saying
was
us seeing it now. Us seeing it now. She
right.
gave him what he deserved.
And he was creepy. Like, they got the whole, I got, and he's always making her feel bad. Well, I came down here for you. And, like, I got this nice hotel room for you. So how dare you not put my
Right,
catheter in?
right,
And how
right.
dare you not be grossed up when I'm slapping my cock around in the goddamn shower to get hard because I took half a Viagra for you.
And
You don't
John,
feel
I
bad.
promise you, know one thing about me. Know one thing about me for certain. I would not have seen him ever again in my life past that night. Now, I don't care if I was filming. I'm telling you this for sure. I know myself. If past that night in that hotel room, I don't care if I signed a contract. I don't care if I was filming. I don't care what the circumstances were. When I am made to feel uncomfortable to that degree, or you put me in a situation to that degree, and you say you care about me, I am done for life. When I am done with someone, my husband says it's my best and worst trait. But when someone does stuff like when I'm done with someone, I'm done. I would have never seen him past that night in that room.
He was using his disability as a way to make her feel bad, to gaslight her, and I feel like the reason why he's had so many other failed attempts is because he's done the same thing with the other woman. He's the other
Oh
woman,
yeah,
and they
I
were
would love
like,
to
"No,
interview the other
sir,
wife.
just because you have disability does not give you license to treat people like shit."
Right. And
Ugh.
by the way, and I'm going to say this. By the way, not every foreigner wants to live in America. Just so
Right.
you know, I have a ton of family in Italy. Not that it's a bad country, and I have family in Argentina. And let me tell you, they love coming here to visit, but they also love where they live. And they don't want to live here. Not everybody wants to always come to America. And this girl has her parents, a child. She wasn't looking to change her whole life and run here for him or for anybody.
No, and throughout the season, then he would, I didn't agree with like him buying the gifts for the kids, with all that going on. Then he's trying to
Right.
suck up to
It was a way to look good in front of the cameras. And Elizabeth, I 100% agree. Absolutely. He absolutely narcissism, like John said. And yes, massive, yeah, ego, beyond.
and like you heard
Now,
him say, he won medals playing I guess wheelchair basketball, and like he's the bee's knees, and women are lucky to have him, and he couldn't understand like this guy who learned Portuguese, and like it's I
and
cannot stand
John and I are so worried about saying the wrong thing because of his disability. But you're right, Maureen. I agree with you. He uses his disability more than anybody else. He uses it as a weapon more than anybody else. And you're right, Elizabeth. The problem is he sees no problem, but the problem is him. And I don't care if she did have a boyfriend. Good for her. Because, like John says, they were allegedly already broken up and shot this to shoot it. So, you know what? I'm glad she had a boyfriend, and I hope she's still with him
Oh,
because
and
he
by
did
the
not
way,
deserve her.
he forgot to mention to her how he got disabled. He forgot to mention to her how he was a
Right.
drug dealer. He forgot to
Right.
mention
That's
her
right.
his age.
A lot of stuff he forgot, huh?
And
But
then
he
we're
didn't forget
supposed
to
to
ask
like
her how
feel
to use
bad
the
for him.
catheter.
We're supposed to feel bad for him when Ingrid's getting this in real fucking time. And like, everything that Brian told Ingrid was a lie, was a goddamn lie. All of it. He's a lie. And
Well,
using a disability.
that's
and
right.
I think anybody who's disabled should be disgusted.
Now,
by
Addie
him
told me,
and his
Addie taught me something tonight in the chat. Addie taught me that you can say that autism is a neurological disability. And with that being said, I didn't see one moment, not one moment in all these episodes of Niall using his neurological disability to benefit him. In fact, there were situations where you could tell he was so uncomfortable, but he wrote it out. He wrote it out because he loved someone and he wanted to overcome it. And Elizabeth, I have to say, I'm so glad you're sharing with us tonight. And at 38 years old, you're a very smart woman. And I have to say, you turn yourself around. I'm very sorry you went through that, but I hope you're proud of yourself because I don't even know you and I'm proud of you. But anyway, yes, I feel like seeing Niles on this show try and overcome so many things and then seeing Brian use it as a weapon, it's disgusting.
I'm not
Disgusting.
even afraid to say the word disabled because I don't know if I'm pissing people off by saying it. Like, I
Oh, Linda, I'm
we
sorry
live
too.
in a
I mean,
time now like where like you can't say anything without like
yeah, you get canceled.
hi.
Oh my God, don't cry, Elizabeth. I don't even know you, but believe me when I tell you I'm proud of you because people like you, and I'm going to say this and don't take this the wrong way, it can go two ways. And I think you know what I mean. It can go two ways, up or down, and you went up. And that's something to be really proud of. And sometimes a stranger telling you that is good to hear.
I think Addie, like, if you want, like, well, I would love for the gang to get back together, like I said, like earlier, and do the recap. And I think Addie, I think that your knowledge on this subject would be
Oh,
like
I love
something
it. I love
that,
how much Addie teaches me.
that the world needs to hear. And I would love for our little panel to be back together again. Uh,
But you know, Addie, I think he's growing, and I think that now having a wife and having a strong woman like Matilda, I really believe she's gonna. You see how she questioned him at that lunch when she said about the boss, "Why'd you really get fired?" She's learning that she's got to dig deep with Niles. She's learning that he pacifies sometimes to get by, and that she sees in person, she could probably tell better when he's lying. You know, so I 100% agree with you.
so hopefully on Monday night, we can all discuss this. And like, Addie, I think your input would be very much
Agree,
appreciated
I agree.
with that. So let's shoot for that on Monday night after we watch the tell tomorrow. So okay, I mean I can go for another 3 hours about how awful Brian is. I can. I how he said like Ingrid was using him to get to the country. Like, oh my god, he is such
So
a
far
piece
from what I felt
of
about her. So far off. So far off. How about
okay.
this? I don't care if we watch the tell all and 8,000 things that are bad come out about her. I don't care. I'm still going to not like him and I'm still going to like her more. How about that?
And the sad part is that 90 Day will keep him around on
I
other,
hope not.
they will. Hello. Natalie's still around. What has Natalie given anybody?
Well, I mean, ratings, I guess, for her craziness.
I mean, like,
And
and
have
going
money.
back to Natalie real quick, I can see Darcy, like a mainstay, like if Darcy wanted to do like, but for Natalie, oh, never mind. You know what? It'll get me down.
Actually, no, don't go there either. I can't see it, Darcy, doing it either.
Okay, let's move on to the next couple.
So did you see, speaking of the next couple, did you see the picture of the baby?
Are you going Adnan and Tiger
Yeah, yeah,
Lily?
yeah, yeah. I still listen. I still cannot figure Tiger Lily out. When they first came on, I thought it was all staged and BS. He's a model. She's superficial. You don't see any of her family. You don't see her kids, probably because they're not allowed to be on. Blah, blah, blah. Then they get married, and there's a lot of money thrown into this wedding. So now I believe, okay, they're married. This is all real. It's just the way she talks and the way it happened. We think it's BS. But obviously, there's a longer past, and they do love each other. But now, seeing her crying and pregnant and living out of a hotel room confused me because I understand why he's keeping his apartment. Here's the thing. He wants to go back there a lot. His whole family's there. He works there. So of course he's going to
I
keep an
did not have
apartment.
a problem with him wanting to keep his apartment. I did
I
not.
don't either. And that's why I mentioned it. To me, the apartment thing was silly. You should have a place to go. His whole family's there. He's young. He wants to go a couple times a year. You married this guy and you know he's from there. So, of course, he wants to go a couple times a year. Giving his brother the
I
rights to all his money, that's what I didn't understand.
No, and I agree with you there, but like, him, like, he's what, 22, 23. He's young. And
Very young and
yeah,
naive.
him wanting to have a place to go to when he's in Jordan, when he's with his family. I could see Tiger Lily's part, like, why keeping your apartment? It's a bachelor pad, like, right in her head. It's a
Yeah,
bachelor
but
pad.
no, that's not, to me, that's not a big deal. Sorry.
But like in this situation, I didn't think that was like a deal breaker. I really didn't. When he wants to come home to Jordan and be with his family, like he doesn't want to stay at a hotel. He wants to, so that for me was like not like something that was a big deal. I guess in Tiger Lily's head, Tiger Lily, such a bullshit name. She saw that as a way for him to escape and not be with her anymore, which I can understand. But like, you married this guy, lady.
Exactly.
You married him,
You knew how he was.
and
You're a 40-year-old woman marrying a 24-year-old model from another country. His mother, his father, there was 500 people at that wedding. He's got a very close, very big family. You have to know that he's going to go back a couple times a year. And why would you not keep an apartment? Why would you go back a couple times a year and stay with your mom when the apartments there is so cheap and you could just keep it and have a place to stay? So that to me was a non-entity.
but
However,
we don't, obviously his family has money. So like, we don't even know if Adnan's paying for that apartment. His parents might be paying for it. We don't know.
again, exactly. So that's why there's so many ways around this apartment that doesn't bother me. But like I said, when you, and again, he's very young, keep that in mind. But now you're a married man and you have a baby on the way. And again, there's a reason I understand this, and I'm going to explain. I understand somebody in your country having power of attorney over your money because believe me when I tell you, I know it's 2025, but it is not as easy overseas to transfer funds as people think it is. My grandma is old. She lives in Italy. My father has to physically go there 3 times a year to pay her taxes, do this, do that. It's a very stressful situation. But this woman has children. She's 40 something years old. She's got a third child on the way. This is something that she has to look out for. She's got to take care of her and her children. And for him to not understand that and threaten
Elizabeth,
violence,
you're getting on my last fucking nerve. I'm telling you right now. It seems that you are fine with everything that Brooklyn says, that Cody says, but everything I say is shit. You're on my last nerve right now.
now this has been an emotional chat for her. Give her a pass.
I
It's
don't
an
care.
emotional chat.
You're on my last nerve. Nothing I can do in your eyes warrants anything good.
Well, she just loves Cody better. What can I tell you?
But it's everybody better than me. You're watching my channel, and you are driving me up a wall right now.
Well, you gotta like him a little bit, Elizabeth. You're here, right? But I just don't understand why he would make that move. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. She's got to protect herself. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, like, what do you think? Like, why would he do something like that?
I don't know. She should not have married someone half her age. She should not have gotten
No,
impregnated by
no,
someone half
I
her age.
agree.
She should not
I
have
agree.
married someone and got impregnated by someone half her age who doesn't understand the culture, who doesn't understand the religion. And like that bullshit scene that we saw in the last part of the season finale, when like she goes to meet like her two beauty guys, like the girl and Shay and asshole, I forget their names. But like, she went, they were at the park and she hugged the girl, but she was like, "Oh, hi, I'm over here. Can't touch
Yeah,
you
yeah,
anymore."
yeah. I saw
Like
that. I saw that,
that
John.
was so goddamn manufactured.
Like, stop it. Stop it. I have to say, there's no way being raised in America and being raised the way, women are here. I could never change my ways like that. I could never not hug and kiss a friend because I married someone half my age that now all of a sudden wants me to not touch men. That's not going to happen.
But they're happy, right? And you will see them on the tell-all. And
I don't. If
it
he's so
seems,
happy, why is he looking to beat up Niles?
well, yeah, at the tell-all, Adnan wants to go attack everybody.
Like, if he's so
Everybody.
happy,
So, I can't fault anybody but Tiger Lily because she
I
is the
know. I
one
know. It's true.
that she signed up for it.
Yep.
And she was like, I didn't know if I should marry him. And she married him. And then she gets pregnant by him.
On
So,
purpose. She went
yeah.
there to get pregnant.
And
On
she
purpose.
did at her age, which is a blessing in itself.
Yeah, Pineapple, I thought that was strange too. Like, why did they have to meet at a swing set place of all things? Why that was weird, right?
Weird.
Very strange.
So let's move on from them because, like, I can't,
She
at
had a
the end of the
boy.
day, Tiger Lily was the one that married someone who's half her age, that she flew to
Yeah.
Jordan, and she doesn't understand what it's like to be a Muslim, and their culture, and but I would like to see like Tiger Lily walking down the street without the cameras, like high-fiving like people at McDonald's or whatever, or like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
and
She's not completely
like
covered up. All
when
the
she
time.
was like, "Oh, I can't talk to you, Cruz or Shay."
Can
Two
you
boys.
imagine?
Like, are you kidding me? Like, stop. Oh, you're a man. I can't go near you now, even though you've been doing my hair for like what, 20 years? No. Like, enough. Stop.
You can't
Stop
take
with
my
that.
autograph at McDonald's because you're a man.
It's just a very strange situation. I'm really excited for this tell all. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been excited
I
for a
am too.
TLC. Yeah, I haven't been excited for a tell all in a very long time. In a very long time. But I want to see how this all plays out. I really do.
All right, moving on. Let's go to Vyra and Bojo and Kripsky and whoever else, because Varia,
Varia.
Anisha,
No, Vanya.
Vanya, whatever. I don't care. I felt bad for her.
Well, I gotta tell you something, John. I really like her.
I do too. I do too.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought you were gonna yell at me.
No, Vanya. Yeah. I felt bad for her. And like, it reminded me of Ricky. Remember when Ricky was on his
Oh
only
my
season?
goodness. Yes, that's right, Johnny. With the one girl, then he saw the other. Yes, that's right.
Remember Ricky? Remember how
Yes.
Ricky went when Ricky went down there to meet the girl and she stood him up, and then like
That's
Ricky
right.
had like the
That's
girl
right.
on the back burner. Like I was like, oh God, okay.
But just like Ricky, right? Vanya is from that country. and she speaks the language, even though she didn't on the show. So I understand why she was talking to a couple of guys from her country. So you know what I'm saying?
But it was like Ricky 2.0.
Right, right.
And you know,
Wow, that's a good comparison. That took me back, man. That took me
I'm
back.
around. I've been
Yep.
around for a decade talking
Yep,
about this
that's
show,
right.
so I know
That's
what you're
right.
saying.
That's right.
And it was like Ricky all over again. But you know, we watched her journey. I hate saying journey. Ugh. I feel like Darcy. Thanks for watching our journey.
Oh,
So
God.
strong. Um, she was there for 3 weeks. It didn't work out with Borger. And then, like, you know, she's like, well, I'm still here, so let me get on Tinder or like whatever, like the Bosnian
See, I
equivalent
think
of that is.
I don't believe that, John. I really think she was talking to him before too. I think she was talking to both of them. What do you think? No, they hit it off so quick.
They did, but also she probably told him, I'm filming for a TV show right now, so like you'll be on TV, and like that would make somebody come running faster, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. All right. All right. All right.
Right? Like, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
uh
can I tell you, I don't find him, he might be a nice guy, whatever. I don't find him one iota attractive. The, I don't know why. I don't think he's good looking at all. Not at all.
no, oh, what the second guy that flew to
Yeah, the second
Orlando? Yeah,
guy, I don't find him good looking at all. Not at
okay, my
all.
dear. I was like, okay, I thought Bouchard I like
Absolutely. But
was better.
Bozo, whatever his name is, he didn't have one iota of attraction for her. Not one. You could tell right out the gate.
Oh yeah, no, that's why they didn't kiss or anything. Like you know, that was done. So then Vanya found this other guy. What's his name?
But oh my god. What's his name, guys?
That's how unimportant he is. We can't remember his name.
Oh my lord. What's his name?
We'll call him Billy.
Billy. All right, there you go, Billy.
So she finds Billy, and then like you know they have sex, which she's like, "Oh, we didn't sleep. We didn't sleep. Okay, right? You didn't sleep together, sure." And I have 15 dicks, sweetheart. Okay.
Yusko.
Josko.
Yusko.
Josko. Okay. Like, was anybody buying that they didn't fuck?
No.
'Cause
And they did when he came to Orlando.
she was there for like it was like her last 3 nights, and she was looking to get dicked down. She didn't get a kiss from Berger. So she wanted her 3-week Bosnian trip to end up with some type of penetration, which I think Josko
Josko.
gave her.
Did you see him cooking in her kitchen naked with that hairy butt?
Oh Lord, this season
That
has
hairy,
been
he had a hairy coolie.
so yeah, I saw it, and she's like, I've never had a sexier kitchen, so I guess good
I
for
said, well, I guess your
my
kitchen's never going to be sexy.
and
But I did
I'm gonna
feel
find.
bad because he really didn't. At the end of the day, he didn't even give her a chance. You know,
Oh,
she's
I
a 40.
disagree.
Well, listen, we weren't there for all the talks they had in the 2 weeks that he was in Orlando. So he goes back and he's like, oh, well, you made that comment. Well, at least let her meet the kid. At least let her see, like, give her a shot, you know?
Um, you know, I just watched the last episode tonight, and I do believe him when he was saying, "Well, you didn't want kids, you don't want them interfering with your life." You know,
But she
I
was
really
also
feel.
saying we could turn this room into this. She would, you know what she was doing? She wasn't selling him a load of crap. I think she was being honest. I think she said to him, look, I'm used to my house being the way it is. I'm used to my life being the way it is. But listen, I could change. You know, we can make this room this, and I have to get adjusted. You know, I think she was willing to get adjusted, but he was like, nah, she ain't gonna do it. Done.
I think when he flew to Orlando, he was really
Thank
like
you, Elizabeth.
loving
Thank
her.
you.
I thought that he was really loving her. And I don't think he would have flown to Orlando if he didn't think there was something there. And I do believe when they were there that they had a conversation because you watch him saying, like, you know, how he had foster kids, how kids are important to him, and she
Right.
was against it, not against it, but like, you know, not in the same place he was when it came to children. So I do think that, like, I believed everything that Josko said when he said that, like, you know, I don't, you know, you said you didn't want kids, that it's going to disrupt your life, that you have nice things, that you don't want your house being ruined. Like,
All right, but tell her what's up before you
I believe
leave.
every word of that. I believe.
Tell her what's up before you leave. Don't go home. Sleep with her a couple times. Go
No,
home.
he did. And then her only out was saying, "Oh, well, I told you, like, I could change the room, one of my rooms, into like a kid room when you come to visit." I didn't, but that was not sincere at all to me.
Read
Like,
Pineapple's comment because I believe you, Pineapple. I believe that. I really do. I really believe, and that's right, she did. And I really believe that he took a couple things she said. He got home. He's like, yeah, well, I can't move there because I can't take the kid out of the country for 5 years. I'm just adopting him now. So you know what? This ain't gonna work.
I'm on his side with this one. I'm sorry. And the
All
fact
right,
that,
we've
like, you
split
know,
down the middle, me and him.
the fact that, like, she found him, like, on what, like, 3 days before she was supposed to leave, like, you know, for her hookup story, and like she found love. Did anybody? I don't.
Well,
I don't.
okay. CH Love and Life. She's got a point. All set up by TLC as usual. Probably so. You're probably right. You really are. But I will tell you, I follow her now, and she could dance. She's got a hot body, and she's very good at what she does. She does a lot of parties and events, and God bless her.
But her dancing skills has nothing to do with, like, you know, what she was
I
portraying in
know,
that
I
show.
know.
And she wanted some type of penetration while she was there on her 3-week European vacation. And she found him, and, like, you know, there's no way in hell that I don't think that she wasn't fucking him. I'm sorry.
Pineapple
Like,
says, look at my comment. He was a producer plant. Yeah, I believe that. You're right. I
well,
believe it.
it wouldn't be the first time.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Um, I just, you know, I really wanted her to be happy, and, like, I don't dislike Vanya. Me and Cody were rooting for her, like, you know, especially when, like, Josko
Right.
came and, like, they were having fun. I'm like, okay, at least she's getting something out of it, you
Right,
know?
right.
But mm, I tend to believe him, and I tend, you know, because she said that she didn't want the kids.
Right.
I have to go on his side of the story if I have to believe
I
anything.
do
And
hope that she finds somebody. I do like her. She's a nice girl. She's a pretty girl. She's a little heavy on the makeup, right? She doesn't need that much makeup. That bothers me a little
oh
bit
my
because her
god,
hair.
like that purple and
Yes.
like
Thank you. She's a pretty girl. Her hair is so blonde. And if she just does a more natural look, I think she'd be so stunning. But she's a little
like
heavy on that
with her
clown makeup.
brown hair and, like, not this heavy 80s purple and pink eyeshadow and
A little bit much.
the smoke eye. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
A
on
little
that
bit
one.
much, in my opinion.
But yeah, let's move on to the next couple because we're running late now.
Yes.
How about Pussface? Who's Pussface?
Oh God, I can't do the name.
The guy from Jersey, Joe, and the one
Okay,
from
I
Fulton,
want to tell you
Matthew.
something about him though. I want to tell you all something about him. Joe is pretty much every single one of my male. If you want to look at my family, they're like 87 Joes. He's pretty much all of
Mine
my
too.
male cousins. Just so you know.
It's cookie cutter Italian is what Joe is.
And when this first happened, because John and I couldn't believe how long the season was, because when he was going to miss his flight, I said, "Oh, it's a no-show, it's a scam, and he's only getting one episode." So for them to go this long and to follow their journey, I like her. She's a little cray cray, but she's young. But I really do. The whole time I'm watching them, I'm like, he don't give a crap. He's doing this to be on the show. He's doing this, because she's hot. He's gonna go there. He's gonna get laid. He's gonna come back. He's gonna have 5 new girlfriends by the time it airs. Then I'm watching and I'm like, wow, he likes her. I didn't even think he would like her this much.
I don't know how he can like her, and I'm sorry. Brooklyn. She's the type of girl that my grandma would say, "Wipe that puss off your face."
Yeah, she always looks. Yeah, and
Like,
also, I'm gonna tell you something. I can never say what happens behind the scenes or what they talk about or what the families talk about, but with 100% certainty, I can tell you what his family's telling him. They're saying,
oh,
first of all,
absolutely.
they go, "What are you out of your mind? You're going to take her here from Poland? She's coming here to get a visa? Marry a girl who knows how to make a pot of sauce. What are you going to marry? A Polish girl? She doesn't speak the language? Marry your own car." I could hear it right now. I'm just telling you. She's
And
too
trust me,
thin.
if Joe
She's
had
too
found a
young.
nice Italian girl in like Rome or Naples or
It would be
Venice or
100%. They would have him married. The mother would have sent him with a
exactly,
rock. She would have paid for it.
but
If he would have
I
said
don't.
to her, "Ma, I'm going," the day they had the sauce in the house and his whole family was there, if he would have said, "Guys, I'm going to Italy. I found this girl in Milan or in Sicily," the mother would have said, "I'm giving you 10,000. Get her a ring, bring her back on the plane with you." But because she's in Poland, they're not for it. Believe me when I tell you, not for it.
Right, Tony, and wipe that puss off your face. Like my
That's
grandmother,
right.
when I was annoyed, and then my grandmother raised me, so she was like my mom. Okay, but like if I was annoyed or like in a store and I didn't get my way, and I'd be like, my grandma would say, "Wipe that puss off your face," and if I didn't, I get a slap across, and then that puss would be wiped the fuck off. I promise you that.
Hmm. She's not going to last. If she goes and visits his family, is she going to last one weekend before she locks herself in his bedroom? Mark my words. Right,
I
Ocean Life? Am I not speaking the truth right now? I'm telling you right now, they're not happy. Or he's like, "Ma, Dad, I'm going there because of the show." You know what I'm saying?
And like this bitch, Magda, and I don't mean to call her a bitch, but
And she's a
she's got
kid.
that
She's
she's
young.
got that eternal puss on her face. It's
Yep.
always
I
like
agree. I agree.
it and like I don't know how I don't know, man. Like she is
I can
just kind of
guarantee you
unbearable.
Joey is 38 years old. All right. Listen to me. His mother still makes his bed. His mother's still washing his underwear. His mother is still packing him a lunch. And I'm telling you 100%, I don't care if he shows he's got an apartment, he never stays there. Guarantee you he sleeps at home 5 nights a week and goes there on the weekend. Trust me when
Exactly.
I tell you he's not ready to get married. Believe that. He's a big baby himself.
And like, her high hopes, like, she wasn't gonna sleep with him, but she did. But she ran to someone in Germany. Like, I don't know where this is going, but I have like
Yeah, I'm
negative.
surprised they got that much airtime.
Me too. Like when we were still this is how long this show's been
That's
on.
right.
Like we were still recapping this show every week until they
Yep.
came on, and like like 7 weeks later they're still on. And I'm like, God damn.
Yep. I mean,
I
I have to say, Poland looks beautiful. It looked absolutely
oh my
gorgeous.
God,
I was
Island Park.
impressed.
You're from Long Island. Whoever Ocean Life is from Long Island because
There
Island
you
Park.
go. Yeah, I'm surprised. But listen, wait a minute. No, Susie, the whole family moved to Florida. They were
Yeah,
all in
most
Jersey. The whole family went. Listen to me, Susie. I'll tell you one thing, and you know this. I know you know, Susie. He would have never moved to Florida without his mom and dad. No way in hell.
like I moved to Florida by myself when I was like 20,
You're a
away from
rebel.
my very Long Island Catholic family, Italian, and I didn't last without them. I had to move back. Like,
That's
I don't
right.
know what it is about us Italians, but like we can't be separated
Your
from each
mama's
other.
boys.
We can't. We can't be separated from each other. And like, oh, I was there for a year. I'm like, I gotta go home. I miss everybody. It's crazy.
When all my son's friends were thinking about where they were going to go to college, my
Okay,
son didn't even
Ocean
think
Life.
twice.
I graduated high school from Oceanside. Just to give you an idea. I'm a sailor. Okay, so there you go.
When my son and they were all looking at colleges, my son didn't even have to think twice. It wasn't even an option to go away. He's like, no, I'm not going away. I'm not leaving my family. Staying on Long Island.
And when I told my family I was leaving, my great grandmother cried on her knees, and begged me not to go. Like, begged
And
me.
you know how like sometimes American people, their kid wants to move away and they're like, well, you know what? I support you and I'll never stop you and you're going to have a good life. You know what my mother would say? It's going to suck and you're going to fail. You need to stay right here where you have us. Wherever you go, it's going to be miserable.
Yep. You'll never get the same treatment you have right here in my
That's
house.
right. There's no family there. It's going to be awful. You're not going to thrive ever.
Oh my God, you're taking me down a trip right now. I remember like going like, cause like, I told my mom died when I was 9, so my grandmother raised me. And when I was 20, I'm like, I want to move to Florida and like change my life and do this and do that. And it took like 5 weeks for my grandma to get on board with it. I'm like, I'm going. So I don't, my mind was made up. And then she's like, okay, motherfucker. She's like, fine. She's like, I'm taking you to Nanny's house now. And I was like, oh no. Because my great grandmother, my nanny, also raised me.
That's right,
after
because
my
you
mom
lived
had
with your
passed
great
away.
grandmother first and then your
Yep.
grandma, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And how old was your great grandmother though? When you lived with her, how old was she taking care of you?
My mom died, I was 9, and I was there with her prior to that. So my great grandmother was like probably 76
God bless. And she took on a 9-year-old. Isn't that amazing?
in a senior citizen complex.
But your
Like,
grandma was young though, I have to say.
well, my great grandmother was 76, who was raising me in her senior
I
citizen
mean,
complex.
and
That's how I
what?
know how to play every card game known
Well,
to
what
man.
town
But
was the what?
I was raised on Pinochle, Canasta, Bridge.
That's so funny.
I was playing card games with the seniors at the complex when I was 7. And like
Where was that? Where was the?
Belmont
Oh, okay, very Italian neighborhood back then.
back then, not now, but
No,
back
not now,
then.
but back
Well,
then.
yeah. So then, my grandmother took me because like obviously like I was like growing up and I could not be in a senior citizen complex anymore.
Right.
And my grandmother took me and she knew my Achilles heel was my nanny, my great grandmother. And she still didn't want me to go, even though she was lying to my face. She said, okay, I'm okay with it, but I'm gonna take you to Nanny's. And
Now
hand
imagine that, guys. Hold on. Imagine being 76 years old. Now look what this woman did. 76. You raised your kids, you raised your grandkids. Now you got into a retirement home or whatever it's called, and you have all these friends, and you're finally retired, you're living your life, and now you start to take on raising a 9-year-old. That
and
is
I
crazy.
lived at my nanny's senior citizen complex for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade.
Now I have a question. I never asked you this. Now, your 76-year-old nanny registered you for school. And did she wake up and take you every day to school and pick you up?
Yep.
That
She sure
John,
did.
that's like really freaking amazing. How often do you see a 76-year-old take custody of a 9-year-old, register them for school? It's like living your life all over again. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing. What a woman.
She never thought twice about it.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
I should say that my nanny played favorites in my family,
You
and
think?
like, okay, God. Well, none of my family's gonna watch this, so I don't care. My nanny, my great grandmother, always had an affinity for the firstborn in the family. So I was the firstborn from my mom Debbie.
Okay.
Now, my mom Debbie was also adopted through my great grandmother. There's very different levels of fuckery in my family. But
Oh, I never know. I'm learning a lot tonight. I never knew that either, your
yeah,
mom.
she
You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to talk
no, it's
about it.
fun. No, it's okay. So, but my nanny took me, and she
But you do realize what I'm saying. Like, think about it even now. Think about, okay, think about even a 60-year-old that's done raising kids, taking a 9-year-old to live with you, raise them, register them in school. I mean, she was freaking amazing.
walked me to school every day,
Lunch,
picked me
breakfast,
up at
dinner,
yep. Um, like
backpack, back to school shopping.
my nanny was born in 1916. I was in when she had me under her care.
Oh, Tony, and I love that.
I was God, it was second grade, 1986. No, 1987.
Well,
My mom
Tony, and you're
died.
just as amazing.
So, but she, like, and other people in my family, I had 5 aunts, my grandma, but like, I wanted to be with my nanny, and she wanted me.
Amazing.
And for 3 years, second, third, and fourth grade, I was at a senior citizen complex
Wow.
under her, and like, if I can go back to that,
Yep.
like that, I would.
Well,
Like,
I just want to
people are,
say there's a reason we brought this up because look at that comment Tony Ann wrote. She is possibly doing it too. And I have to say, Tony Ann, you are just as remarkable as John's grandma was because you said your husband is 76 and you're contemplating taking your 7-year-old grandson. I have to tell you, that is not an everyday thing for an everyday person. That's a remarkable thing for a remarkable person. And the fact that you might do that, unbelievable. Look how John talks about his nanny right now. See that? And that is not an
who
easy
is my
task.
favorite person? My
There
nanny.
you go.
And the only reason why my grandmother took me, which was because, like, my nanny, my great grandmother, lived in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I was getting bigger, and like we slept in the same bed every night. Like, she had a 1-bedroom apartment in this complex, and I was getting bigger, and like it didn't make sense for me to be there anymore. Like, growing older, and
Right.
that's
Right.
when I fought it. My grandmother always wanted me, but I felt an affinity with my great grandmother, and I was closest to her. And when my grandmother took me, I cried like a baby, and hated it. But
There is no doubt, John, that you had a very challenging childhood. However, those years you were blessed to have two grandmothers who wanted you and took you and taught you so much about life. That was great.
and now I know how to play I can play bridge and beat the best of the bridge players. Like, I was playing bridge with 80-year-olds outside
That's crazy. Think
and
about
beating
that.
them for money. They played for dimes and nickels back in the day.
Think about
Um,
that.
that's. I mean, I'm still in a pinnacle league now to this day.
I have women clients of mine and their children are pregnant, like the daughter's pregnant, and I'll hear them say all the time, listen, I'll watch once in a while, but I am not going to give up my freedom now and watch the baby 24/7. So that's why I feel like it's so remarkable because it's a dying breed of people that would take on all that at a different age. You know what I'm saying?
Knuckles my game. So I'm very good at
Oh,
Knuckles.
Liana, I never heard of cribbage.
I know cribbage. It's got pegs and like you have to go
Really?
on. Yeah, I know cribbage. I'm
I
not
never
like
heard of that.
we only play card games. Like, not like so like I remember in my senior citizen complex where my nanny lived, downstairs, there was this woman named Sissy. And
Sissy.
her name was Sissy. And like it would be 7 o'clock at night, and I'd be like, "Hey, Natty, can I go downstairs and play cards with Sissy?" And she'd be like, "Okay." And then I would go downstairs and play 500 rummy for points and dimes and nickels with Sissy.
I love it. I love it. When I was a kid and we would have holidays, right? There would be no joke, there would be like 60 people in the basement for Christmas, in the basements in
Oh yeah.
Brooklyn.
Oh, I know that. I know that scene.
And my grandmother and all the aunts would cook for a week. I mean, everybody would there'd be so much cheese and garlic and everything that you would be sick for a month after you ate Christmas and New Year's. However, it was the best time of my life. It was loud, it was crazy, there was so much food. After we ate, we would all play Pokino. And we would play first, we start off playing, we used to put, we would listen, we would run out of chips. So we used to use pistachio nuts on the numbers. And then we would each bring a gift and we'd play for the gift. Then they would knock us kids out and they would start playing for dollars. Then they would start playing for fives. And then they were Italian. They would kill each other. You didn't win. You cheated. That's my money. The pot would be in the middle of the table. They would do this till 2 o'clock. The men would play cards at one end, smoking cigarettes in the house with the kids. They didn't care. It was back then. And then all the girls would play Pokino. And then at about midnight, we'd all have sandwiches and eat again while we're playing Pokino. Those were the best times in my life. Oh, I can't hear you. Are you still there?
I'm sorry. I had to go to the bathroom. I haven't thought
Oh,
about
no
this.
problem. But let me tell you, those were the
I
best
haven't thought
times of
about
my
I
life.
haven't thought about this stuff in a while.
And you know what's funny? Now we go to a family thing, and like my sister-in-law, they got young kids. Oh, I'm sorry, we have to leave his nap time. He's got to sleep at 8:30 with his sound machine and his weighted blanket. Really? Because it would be 1:30 in the morning. All my Italian uncles, the house would be full of smoke. I would say, "Mommy, I'm tired." She would say, "Go lay on the chair." There would be a metal folding chair. She'd tell me, "Go to sleep on the chair." How different life is now. I'd go sleep on a metal folding chair in a basement. And now they have to have their kids home by 9 o'clock with the weighted blanket and a sound machine and dark and a dark room so they could sleep by 8:30. You know what my grandma says? They're all too delicate.
I'm assuming your family was much like mine because on Christmas Eve, on Christmas Eve, you would I don't know, and I'm gonna assume you're the same way, but like Christmas Eve was the night. Like you
Oh
didn't look
yeah.
forward. You didn't look forward to Christmas Day.
Oh
You
yeah.
looked forward to Christmas Eve.
And I'll tell you something, and I'm going to say this low so my husband don't hear me. He's not Italian. And
No,
I'll tell
and
you
neither
this.
was my ex.
So when I met my husband, he said, if we get married, we got to split the holidays. And I said, oh, all right, you know what? I'll give you Christmas Day. That's a really big one, but I'm going to give in because it's important to you. He goes, that's so nice of you. Meanwhile, I don't give a shit about Christmas Day. I just wanted to make sure I was with my family on Christmas Eve. And 25 years later, that's still how we roll.
Christmas Eve, and like Cody doesn't understand either. He's not Italian or Catholic. I don't know, but Christmas Eve was always my favorite night of the year. And then, oh my god, right, Cody?
What?
Christmas Eve was my night, and like you
Oh
know,
yeah,
Christmas
Barbara.
Day.
They say too delicada, delicada. That means they're too delicate now. I'm not kidding. They run home before we have a birthday party. They running home before we even have cake. Oh, I gotta get out of bed, and they put a weighted. Now they have a weighted blanket, a sound machine, blackout curtains. I freaking slept. My parents would take me to a wedding. 2 o'clock in the morning. They put two chairs together. They put my father's suit jacket over me. Go to sleep with the music blasting, and I went to sleep.
And then like all the men, right? Christmas Eve night would play like poker with
And
each
they would
other.
smoke
My
their
parents.
brains out. They'd be screaming, yelling at each other in Italian. You cheated. That's my money. They would put the cigarettes out on the freaking floor in the basement in Brooklyn. Meanwhile, we're running around with kids. No, they're fine. You know what my grandfather would say? Go light my cigarette. I was 7 years old. Go on the stove and light my cigarette. Okay.
Yeah, Christmas Day was always a wash. So it's like
That's when you wake
like
up.
you know, like Christmas Eve was always my favorite night. Like even when I was
And
bartending, like and
how
like
about the fact that now these kids, my mother will make 50 things. She'll spend a fortune. And my sister-in-law is heating up a cup of mac and cheese for the kids in the microwave. Mac and cheese. I ate bacala. I ate tripe. I ate bupa salad. I ate whatever was on the table and it was delicious. These kids, oh, did you make chicken fingers? Chicken fingers? My mother spent $1,000 on fish.
the 7 courses, which you have to have as any Italian family would have. You did the 7 courses of
I'm
fish,
not
the
kidding you,
lobster,
John.
the shrimp, the
Yes.
galamad.
Guys, John, I am not kidding. When I saw Christmas Eve, my sister-in-law brought 3 Kraft macaroni cups, and we're all eating, and she's heating them up in the microwave for the kids. My mother spent $1,000 on fish, and they're eating Kraft. Could you die? I
My
can't.
Aunt Jeanette
We had
had like okay, and Cody
Not
knows
the
because he had it one time in his life before she passed away. But my aunt, and like okay, so that certain Italians only make certain meals one night a year, and my
Oh
Aunt
yeah.
Jeanette made her famous seafood salad, which oh god, I could just remember eating it and
See,
like
I
it's
could
so
make that for you, but I promise you it'll never be like cuz. Before we continue this,
oh
can I just say, can I handle this for 1 second? Can I say one
yeah.
thing? Okay. Elizabeth, listen to me. You don't have to be silent, sweetheart. I see that you apologize. You sent the chat. We love you. You're good. And you don't have to be silent. Let it go and we'll continue to have fun. All right, sweetheart? And that's it. Thank you, Rita. But John, if I made you that salad, I promise you I could use every ingredient your aunt did and it would not be the same. It would
Well,
not be the same.
Tony Ann's in the chat, and like I always said to my 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 grandmother made my favorite dish that she ever made, and it was cheap as fuck. Like it, because growing up,
Oh
like
yeah, they made
we
those
had
cheap dishes like forget it.
we had pasta like
Every
6 out
night.
of 7 nights a week, and like if we were lucky, we had a pork chop on the 7th. So
When my mother made a shrimp for dinner, I thought she got a bonus or won the lotto. But you know what she would do? She would say to me before we ate, only take 3 and let daddy have 5. She would tell me, don't be a gavone.
oh, like a bone.
Do not be a gavone. Let daddy have more.
My grandmother would make peas and macaroni. That's what she called them, and it was like the shell, like the shell. Right there, you go, Tony Ann. It was like shells with peas and like a light tomato sauce. And I tried to make it on a live, but like what I wouldn't give to taste that one more time.
Also, don't
My
forget,
grandmother would call me, like especially like when I was in college. My grandmother died when I was 27. She would call me, and she knew if I hadn't been around a while, if I was like partying or hanging out or being in college or playing tennis, like the way that she would get me to the house, which she would call and she'd leave me a voicemail or no, I'm sorry, on my answering machine, because that's how it was back in the day. She goes, "Hey John, I'm making peas and macaroni. It's on the stove right now." And I call her back. I'm like, "I'll be there in 15 minutes."
Uh-huh.
And she would have that on the stove for hours.
But I'm telling you, we had now this sounds disgusting now, but again, we ate anything and they made it look like what it was. We had pasta, it's called pasta gusarde. And if you're Sicilian, you've heard of it. It's like a tubolini, like a thick tube pasta with sardines and sauce. And it is and basilico, which is basil, and it is delicious.
Pizza Bosnical. See, Cody?
Listen, you got me saying Basel.
I call basil Bosnical, and
Yep.
Cody's like, what's that?
So
I'm
it's
like,
basilico. It's basilico and it's a tubolini pasta and it's like a crushed sardines and a tomato sauce and it's freaking delicious. And when they made that, forget it. You got it twice a year if you were lucky, and I would suck it down. Now, if I told my kids to eat pasta with sardines, they would think they were being punished and tortured.
Yeah, that's how my grandmother wrote me in. Like when I wasn't there, because my grandmother was my best friend. Like my friends were jealous of me and my grandmother's friendship because, like, they're like, "You're always hanging out with your grandmother." I'm like, "Well, she's more exciting than you. I don't know what to fucking tell you."
Absolutely.
But like when I was really busy and like I wasn't around for a while, she knew how to sucker me in. She'd be like, "I'm making," and she would leave me voicemail, not the answer machine. "I'm making peas and macaroni." And my ex Brian would be like, "Your grandmother called. She's making peas and macaroni." I'm like, "I gotta go."
And they
I
knew
gotta
how.
go.
And they knew, let me tell you, they didn't waste anything. When my Nonna was frying chicken cutlets, right? When the cutlets were done, you know how you still have the breadcrumb and the egg left? You know what she would do? She would take the breadcrumb and the egg, mix it together, and she would make breadcrumb meatballs. And they would to die for. They wouldn't waste a ounce of anything.
Ugh. Ugh, now I miss my dead family so much more.
I
Thank
know.
you.
Sorry, always me, always me.
And Tony Ann, like, we hung out at her house, and I'm like, I explained to Tony Ann, like, my favorite dish, and she's like, "I want to make it for you," but when we would go there, she's like, "I'm not gonna make you," because it was peasant food, like peas and macaroni. It was like depression food. It was like
Right,
it was
exactly.
food that
Yep.
people would make that you couldn't afford much. And she's like, "Well,
Right.
when you come to my house, I'm not going to make you that type of food." I'm like, "No, you have no idea. I just want to taste it again." No, Cody's trying to ruin it. He's saying put some ham in it. No. But I what I wouldn't give to just taste it
I know.
again.
Or to even
Like,
have or even have like the exact recipe. You know what I'm saying?
she would keep that on the stove for hours. I don't know what her trick was. Like, she also made like another thing, like, because Italians, they only make things once a year for special occasions. Like,
Mhm.
you had the Anisette cookies, right, for Christmas?
Of course.
And what are the honey balls?
Strufala.
The strufala. Okay, and then the pizzichina for Easter.
But I'm not a strufala person at all. And I don't like the pizza pasta asciutto or the meat pies for Easter either.
Oh, I love the meat pie. Oh, I love it.
Right, Maureen Concha Smith? Aren't those the best? The breadcrumb meatballs, they're the best. In a ton of oil.
I miss the pizzichina. I do. And like, my grandmother made like a dish with like mushrooms and peppers.
I want to go to
and
Tony
and
Ann's.
vinegar. And I only wish that like I learned how to make any of it.
That's what I'm saying. But Tony Ann, I want to come if you're gonna make it. Shkivat.
Tony Ann lives in like the Dust Belt now. I can't get to her. But oh God. I just,
This was so much fun. I love how these lives go. I love that we go in 2 hours, which I always tell John, an hour, I'm exhausted, and it's always freaking 2.5 hours. But in 2 hours, we talk about every freaking thing you could imagine out of nowhere.
I don't even know how we got here.
Oh, Linda, I do love pizzelli. I love a pizzelli. That I do love.
Do you make steak pizzaiola?
Oh, of course I can make a steak pizzaiolo. And everybody makes it different. You know what I mean? And there's another thing that my family makes called spedini. I don't know if any of you ever heard of
No, I know
spedini.
what Spadini is.
Those are my Aunt Tina makes them the best, and they're to die for.
I
You
have an
roll
Aunt
it up
Tina.
with the
I think every
onions.
Aunt Tina knows how to make the
My
Spadini.
Aunt Tina is an amazing cook. Let me tell you something. The best thing for me to do in the summer is go to my Aunt Tina's house, right? She's in Massapequa. She's got a huge garden in the back. And you know what she does? She'll take 2 white onions, she'll take a carton of eggs, and she'll go in the backyard and she'll pick 5 tomatoes. And she'll make me a frittata that you want to die and lick your lips. The
Oh God,
fresh
don't say
tomato,
frittata.
the fresh tomato, the onion, the egg with a loaf of Italian bread, and that's it. That's all I need. I could die.
Well, we're gonna eat some potato chips for dinner.
Tony Ann
So
makes
thank you
spadini.
for making my mouth water.
I know, I'm starving now. I'm
No,
starving.
Tony Ann's like a good guinea, like that knows how to make all this stuff. And
Well,
I
what are
could
you in
say
the mountains? Tony, she says we have a cabin open. What is she in the freaking mountains?
no. But yeah. She's a guinea. I'm a guinea. You're a guinea.
Too funny. Frittata.
uh,
Well, this was
or
fun.
the pastina that they used to make.
Yeah, but now they stopped making pastina. Now you gotta try and find
No,
it.
you can still get it through Barilla, I think. You can get
Yeah.
pastina.
Thank you, Elizabeth. That's sweet. Yeah, you can get Barilla, but Ronzoni is like the real deal.
You
You know, I
are
mean, why would
still
they
doing
stop?
it, Elizabeth. Still.
No, she's saying it. She's saying that you are all great. Let's just leave it at that. She's
What
saying
she's
that we're having.
saying this whole live is that I'm lucky to have people around me and I'm shit.
No, she said it doesn't take away from you. She's just
All right,
saying.
I'm good. Elizabeth, stop watching me. I know I am picking up what you're putting down, honey. And this whole live from beginning to end, you've been saying Brooklyn's great, Cody's great, the subs are great. You suck. And I'm lucky because I suck so much. Like I am done.
All right. Well, I'm not going there. I had a great time on this tonight. That's all I know.
I had a great time too.
And I really appreciate this. And I love all the people in this live and how you guys bring us to so many great places.
and here's my cousin Joe.
Cousin Joe, you cook too, right, Cousin Joe?
Yeah, he does. He does. He cooks. But don't be attached to me, Joe, because Elizabeth might not like it.
Oh my
So,
God. All right. When are we coming back, more importantly?
I'm
See,
so
what?
lucky to have all these people around me because you're terrible. Okay. Like, Jesus fucking Christ with you. Were you gifted that membership? Because I cannot imagine that you bought it on your own. I am just saying. I am like a God. Backhanded compliments. Thank you, Mary B. All night long. All night long. Backhanded compliments. I should be grateful for everybody around me because they're keeping me afloat.
Oh, I
Go
don't.
away. Thank you, Mary B, for at least saying that because that's what she's been doing all night.
Yeah, I don't
If it were for
understand.
you, John, if it were for these people around you, John, you'd be dead.
I have to say, John is pretty freaking
all
cool.
night. No, all night. Thank you. Yes, all night.
I know. I try and ignore it
And there's
because
only so much I can take. I don't know why I didn't block you 2 hours ago. But you are just fucking wrong.
But I have to say, John is pretty cool, or else he wouldn't be my friend. So there's that.
No, it doesn't matter because I probably roped you into it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, here's the
If you
comments.
if
I'm
you if
sorry,
you
I'm
know
not trying to
me,
like go after any member, and I don't give a good goddamn with the super chat she said because I don't even acknowledge them anymore because like she's a like no.
if
Oh,
you
here's
know
20
me,
bucks.
no
No,
one
I don't
could
care.
rope me into
No,
anything.
sorry.
You know that. You all know me by now. I can't be roped.
Like all night with these subtle digs. Like, there you go. As my Italian family would fucking do.
Afanabla.
Afanabla.
Afanabla. I tried.
Oh. Did we cover all the couples?
I think this was so much fun, and I think we did wonderful. And I hope to be able to come back Monday night, if that's good with John.
You're more than welcome. Addie, are you, Addie? Can we get
Oh,
you?
I would absolutely wish Addie can come with us.
Addie, are you, Monday night? I want the team to be together again.
Addie just
So,
teaches us so much, and I love
and
it.
we need to get Wicked.
Yes,
So,
yes. But I am 100% good for Monday night, just so you know. So I'm
all right.
telling you guys that now, so you guys already know that I'll be here if you want to come back and see
So
me.
me, Brooklyn, and Addie, and
Yay!
so we will see you guys on Monday night, Sans Elizabeth, and I still didn't even block her because like I just but like whatever. This was a great live.
Yes, it
and
was. Thank you.
We'll see you guys Monday night, and
Buonanotte.
Brooklyn, call me when this is done. Okay.
You got it. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Good night.